So, like I said, this is kind of a weird voodoo hand transition. It takes some practice to get the articulation there. Once you got it there, did it hurt? Yes. Hurt a lot? Did it hurt a lot? Yes, sir. If it didn't hurt a lot, you weren't doing it right yet. My instructor used to say there's only two ways to do things, right and again. And he meant it. I mean, if you weren't screaming, oh no, you bad attitude, you do again. Oh my God. Somebody had a statement about, okay, where's that? I scream this to my students all the time, don't make unnecessary rules. This is what 99% of people do as a chicken wing or gooseneck, okay? This is a compression technique, okay? What it's doing is working on a saddle joint, okay? This is what we call a natural compression, meaning it's the way the joint works, okay? I can also do a compression on his elbow. Now, Sam's pretty beefy. If I bend his elbow enough, that's about, ooh, you've been working out, boy. If I bend this enough, this elbow will blow out or it'll start tearing things. If she's hyper flexible, yay, more so than Sam, she can touch her shoulder. So how can I get the same effect of what Sam does natural because of his mass and his size if I want to do here? I can't. So I have to put something in the way. So this is what we call an obstructed compression. Okay? Natural, obstructed. Okay? So how do we make this an obstructed? By the nature of the technique we're at. Okay? And I'm not going to torture you because you're too sweet. So let me have a volunteer. Brian, come here. So we're going to work this off one hand. Okay? So we're going to do a hitchhiker position. Thumb out, step in, and here's your basic chicken wing that you're doing. Now, everybody come real close.
But to hear me,
Yeah, he usually says it in different languages, and I don't know what they are.
both all Spanish.
You might pick up all 14 dialects in a minute. Okay, where's my thumb? Okay, that's right here. Okay, so I'm using it as a fulcrum point? No, it's just there to provide an anchor. If I open this up and stick this thumb, this is actually a nerve. This is called pericardium 6. Where's my nerve guy? Okay, so if I stick this in nerve here, this now becomes an obstructed technique. It does not take a whole lot of pressure to do the same thing. Brian, you got 3 inches taller.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Okay, so when we do this, okay, so from here, there's my button. See my button? Okay, there's my button. And I just bring it, there's my button. See it? And I just bring it in nice and tight. That chicken wing motion. So we're gonna torque, but I'm gonna take this hand and I'm gonna pull this direction. Well, yeah, at the same time. You missed me? Yeah. All right. Last year we were doing some nerve stuff and he goes, I want to feel, okay? So it's very, very small motions, and some of this stuff is gonna take some real fine motor skill to figure out. But once you get it, it's effective, right? Yeah. Right? You want me to do the other hand? Yeah. Okay. So from here, we're going to do the same thing, and I keep it close. The farther out you get from your body, the weaker you're going to be. Okay? So keep this close. As you're doing this technique, you're going to use the blade of the hand. Relax, buddy. Okay? Use the blade of the hand, put it in where the wrist bends. You're going to take this hand, and you're pulling this hand this direction. At the same time, now I'm opening this way up and it's not the proper way, but we're pulling this direction and torquing it forward at the same time. Okay? Hey, relax. Pull this up. Okay? Show the guns. Gun show's coming out. Okay. Waha! Okay, so we were doing this earlier, right?
Yes.
Doing this? Okay, so where's our lever? Okay, here's our lever. Now I'm going to do one thing real quick. We're going to pause and I'm going to break a whole lot of rules that you guys have been taught on this lever. Okay? Where does everybody apply the fulcrum point? Above the elbow, on the elbow, or below the elbow? Above the elbow. Okay, I'm going to give you about 3 pounds pressure. Okay? I'm going to go to the elbow, 3 pounds pressure. I'm going to go just below the elbow, 3 pounds pressure. Okay? I want you to think about this. This is physics. If you move your fulcrum point from here, the joint is inside part of the lever of the technique. If I move it to the other side, the joint becomes part of the technique. It's a different way of thinking, but when I were to do this basic armbar, hyperextension, there's above. Okay, same motion, here's below. Okay, what hurt worse?
It's second.
Second. Okay. If we were to go to this idea, where's his elbow? Okay, I use the term proximal and distal. Okay, the proximal being closer to center line. This is proximal. If I give him a little bit of pressure, he'll climb it like a monkey. If I move this to kun, this is a measurement in Chinese medicine called kun. If I move him to kun to the other side of his elbow, okay, watch how quick he wants to go. Didn't apply any pressure, actually I applied less. Okay, so something to play with and go, different idea. So when you do this and you're here, if you put that pressure just below the elbow, first of all, you're gonna have to catch to him because he's gonna probably want out of this real quick. So how do we torque or apply a compression with this technique? It's on the wrist. I never said you can't do two things at one time. Okay, so I can compress, I can torque, and apply lever. 3 1. Okay, all three. Play it.
Sir.
All right. Want to see it again?
Sir.
All right,
You
all
guys
right.
got it. You guys got it.
Sammy's like, I got 2 days of this. Okay, so from here, this way. Now, again, like Grandmaster Marquez says, man, I want in close. Okay, out here, this is not my control workspace. I have no power. Here, so there's the lever, 1. Here's the compression, 2. Here's the torque, 3. Now I'm overemphasizing motion, so all 3. Okay. So from here, feel like you're going to put this into that pocket. See how his knee goes, and then his weight is just right there. If I have him turn this way, so everybody look over my shoulder. If I have him in position, there's 1 motion, there's 2 motion. Okay, he's slimy. Okay, 1 motion, 2 motion. And there's the 3rd motion, okay? Okay, so from here, we've set this technique up off here. Nothing has changed. Okay, now I'm keeping him high so I don't put a lot of torque because really I want, see, this is where I want to be. In an application like this, his midline is here, mine's here. Whose midline should I work to?
Yours.
Why? Lower it, okay? I want to work to the lowest midline. With this basic technique down and I torque, he's not going to get anything until he gets to his midline principle here, okay? So when we teach, we start students out making big circles. That way they can learn gross motor movements, start working on some muscle memory. When you actually start getting in where you're doing an athletic execution, it's a lot smaller motions, okay? If this elbow goes up, his center line is here. If I'm still working my center line, I have no torque. So what I need to do is work the perpendicular to this arm. There's where the torque is. So at that point, there's all the motions. There's where it's at. And then slam it. Oh, he's going to go that way. Well, then I'll redirect him in the other direction. Okay? So you have to react based on what you feel. Okay? There's another principle called proprioception based on body movement, body awareness. Not just mine, but his. Here's my essentially chicken wing, gooseneck. I can compress it there. Then I can rotate it. I was showing him there's actually a 3rd torque we can rotate the wrist. So I'm gonna make this a real big motion, okay? We have compression going this direction, okay? We have torque going this direction. We also have another torque going this direction, okay? So there's 3. So did this last one hurt?
Oh, yes.
Where do you feel this one? Okay, so you're gonna go this way, here, compress, torque, torque, okay? And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort once you understand how to manipulate principles, okay? But again, what he said earlier, I absolutely agree. You cannot make this your workspace. No way. Get in close here, okay? And it doesn't take a whole lot of force.